This video is going to be more of a technical look at how to install CachyOS on your computer, what file system to use, what bootloader, and what package manager to use. For the file system, you're going to want to use EXT4 for everything outside of an OS drive that you need to have a lot of backups for as an end user. The reason is, let's say for a gaming drive, you're going to want EXT4 because it doesn't compress data as much and it allows the computer to read and load games, the graphics stuff faster, so you can get into your game and start playing sooner. EXT4, its core architecture is journaling. It overwrites data. Performance is faster, low latency, lower overhead. It does not have snapshot abilities by default, so it requires heavy external tools. Data integrity, it's metadata journaling only. There is no compression. Storage pooling, it needs LVM, MDADM. It's a proven workhorse. It has been used on Linux for over 15 years. It works safely by modifying data directly to the disk blocks, using a system journal to prevent corruption during sudden power failures. EXT4 delivers superior raw read-write speeds and much lower latency, making it excellent for gaming, databases, and heavy compile workloads. Rock-solid stability, it's highly mature, meticulously tested, and exceptionally predictable. It has lower overhead by requiring very little CPU and RAM to run efficiently, extending the battery life of laptops and lowering hardware strains. The limitation is it cannot naturally detect passive bitrot data corruption, and it does not support native snapshots or disk pooling. btrfs, on the other hand, its core architecture is copy on write. Performance is slower raw input-output. It's resource heavy. It has the ability to have snapshots, which are near instant and space efficient. You'll have to check to see how the snapshot process is set up, because if you leave it on default, you could end up running it out of space. As I used btrfs before, and it was saving 12 snapshots daily, 12 snapshots weekly, 12 snapshots monthly, and it would have stored 12 yearly. This is an excessive amount of snapshots for a home computer. I would say you would need 4, maybe 4 daily, 2 weekly, and 1 monthly at most. But that's pushing it, because by the time you hit the month mark with CachyOS, which is a rolling release, that save backup that you have is already outdated. For data integrity, it has built-in checksums and self-healing for btrfs, transparent compression, ZSTD, and LZO. Storage pooling is built-in multi-device volume manager. Now, btrfs is a feature-packed powerhouse. It has instant snapshots. You can create system or directory rollbacks instantly. If a system upgrade breaks your machine, you can reboot directly to an older snapshot in seconds. It has bit rot prevention, which is continuous data and metadata checksumming flags in the background for disk corruption. When paired with multiple drives, btrfs can automatically self-heal corrupt blocks using healthy duplicates. Transparent compression. It dynamically compresses data as it writes to the disk, which saves storage space and can extend a solid-state drive's life cycle. The limitations: btrfs has higher overhead and is prone to file fragmentation, something that Windows is prone to. This can cause steep performance degradation with heavy, random write files like active databases or large virtual machines unless copy on write is manually disabled for those folders. EXT4 is if you want to set it and forget it partition. Prioritize maximum hardware gaming performance or primarily using a single hard drive or external SSD without needing complex configuration. Choose btrfs if you run advanced Linux systems like Fedora or OpenSUSE where you want easy system rollbacks, want to bundle multiple storage drives natively, or are managing a home NAS server where catching data corruption early is critical. So again, I said it's good if you want to use it for your CacheOS itself or a NAS server where you want data preservation and you want to roll it back as quick as possible and for failsafe. That's what btrfs is good for. EXT4 is better for gaming drives and regular storage, where you don't really need the features that btrfs has. This concludes the btrfs section. We are going to look at the Limine bootloader, which, let me get this situated. Limine bootloader is a modern, lightweight, multi-protocol bootloader and boot manager written in C and assembly. It was originally created as a reference implementation for Stivali, or Stivali, however it's pronounced, and later native Limine boot protocol to provide a robust, easy-to-use alternative to multi-boot specifications for custom operating system developers. Today, it is increasingly adopted by mainstream Linux distributions like CacheOS and Chimera Linux as a faster, less bloated alternative to GNU Grub. Multi-protocol support natively boots the Limine protocol Linux kernel protocols multi-boot 1/2 and supports chain loading other operating systems like Microsoft Windows. Cross-platform and modern architecture supports IA32, which is 32-bit x86, x86-64, AARCH64, ARM64, RISC-V64, I think it's LongArch64, dual firmware support, fully capable of booting on both legacy BIOS, MBR, and modern UEFI GPT hardware systems. Minimalist file system footprint intentionally restricts file system parsing to FAT12, 1632, and ISO 9660, relying on initramfs modules to to load complex file systems like btrfs or ZFS. Secure boot enforcement features strict verification enforcing UEFI secure boot policies matching Blake to be config checksums to deter kernel or bootloader spoofing. Typical deployment and configuration. Deploying Limine on a UEFI system involves placing its main EFI executable onto your EFI system partition, ESP, and writing a manual config file. There's more, but I'm going to skip that. Basically, Limine is the best way to go because it's better than systemd and grub by far. On the right here is what it looks like. So this person that I found the image for, and it's on the internet. You can see the link right here. I'm not trying to steal their what they posted. I'm just using it as an example. The main OS is here. Its category type is here. It says Linux Cache OS, Linux Cache OS LTS, and snapshots. And then if we go to another one, which I'm looking here, you can see this one has Cache OS, Arch Linux Cache OS, Arch Linux Cache OS LTS, Linux Cache OS LTS, Linux Cache OS, snapshots. Then it has Windows 11, systemd boot, and EFI fallback. And then this one, you can see right here, it says snapshots, and then it has a list of the snapshots and an EFI fallback. This is the Limine bootloader display right here. Cache OS, Linux Cache OS kernel. There's snapshots. And that's how it's supposed to be. Trust me when I say it's better than grub and systemd. Now, there is something else I want to show you. Now that the Limine bootloader is finished. Where is it? Shelly. This is what Shelly looks like. It's a new package manager for Cache OS. For a while, they were using KDE Store and Octopi. You could choose between both of those. KDE Store, I think it was called the Discover Store. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it was KDE Store. It was from the KDE platform. You could use AUR packages, but the problem is AUR packages got infected with malware. So they said, nope, we're cutting out the KDE Discover Store, and they said to use Octopi. They phased Octopi out, and now you have Shelly, which looks like this. This tab is the recommended. This is what it looks like. You have audio, games. Make sure you install the gaming application. You can install it from here, or you can go to Cache OS Hello. You can go into there and apps and tweaks, and then install gaming packages. It's already installed. System update inside Hello. You can have it here, or you can actually click this button and it will go down to this bottom toolbar right here. Right here, that's C. If I click this, it checks for updates. There's nothing. It's just like Windows with that. VRM management, I wouldn't really mess with that too much. Remove orphans. You can get rid of anything that technically shouldn't be on the computer because you uninstalled it. You can rank mirrors to get the OS to reset the mirrors to pick which ones they look at first. But you can get gaming package from here or when CachyOS Hello. That will help improve the computer for gaming. Now for browsers, you have LibreWolf, you have Firefox, Chromium. There's Tor browser, but I don't use that. Discord, Mumble. You have under development, you have, well, under games, you have some other games. Development, you have Vim, NetBeans. I don't know if that still works though. But you have other ones in here. You have Docker, Blender, GIMP, Krita. You have OnlyOffice, LibreOffice, OBS Studio, which is pretty good. I'm recording this video in OBS. Virt Manager for a desktop user interface for managing virtual machines. Packages, you can see more packages through here. There's some games and other things. You just scroll down the list. You can go and say, I want to look at I wish they would have done this better, but you can look at these different sections, see what they have. You can look at updates. You can go to manage, see what's there. You can go to Flatpak. This, as you can see, looks a little bit better than what the other tabs look like. You have a game called Dino Blaster Revenge, the Heroic Game Launcher, and you can see you have different things you can play. And then if you go to development, you have all this stuff off network. You have a bunch of stuff that you can look through, see if anything seems interesting. So there's a lot in here. It's just being able to navigate and figure out where everything is. And that's pretty much it for how you navigate what to check to install when you, what to check when you install. So your file system will be EXT4 for most drives. For anything that needs to be checked for any bit rot and possibly OS level that you need a lot of snapshots for, that's when you would choose btrfs. Your bootloader will always be Limine for CachyOS. Install the gaming package within CachyOS Hello or Shelly. This is a rolling release, so you'll get updates almost daily to keep the OS running smoothly. And everything runs right. So if I go to here, you can see Steam is loaded. And if I go in here, which I'm going to make another video with, I can load Jump Space just fine. It might take a little bit and have the little pop-up that says it's loading things, but this is a preview to see that Jump Space launches as a tail end of this video. And you can see, you can just play games just fine. I'm going to have an actual will it run video for this game to show that it runs well in gameplay, but I'm also going to have a comparison between Windows 11 and CachyOS on this game, among other games, for the will it run and CachyOS vs Win 11 series. But that concludes this video. This was more of a technical video.